Police are in a standoff with a massive amount of protesters blocking the LA freeway who are refusing to leave until these demands are met. What started out as a large-scale planned protest against Trump in the city of Los Angeles quickly took a turn. Official reports say that thousands of people gathered in downtown LA, Riverside, and San Diego to protest Trump's mass deportation initiative.
We will not be going to work, we will not be going to school, and we will not be spending a single penny.
What's the tow truck for? Towing?
A mass strike in every single industry that relies on immigrant labor, because in my opinion, that is the best way that you show Donald Trump and Republicans what it actually means to get rid of all of the people that help this country run.
This year, again, the Day Without a Mexican / A Day Without an Immigrant is on February 3rd. One of the most efficient strikes in all of history is making a comeback.
Thousands and thousands of people have already said that they were going to participate.
Breaking right now, a crowd gathering this morning in downtown LA. You're taking a live look at a protest over the recent surge in ICE raids and deportation.
So you're protesting because you don't want to get sent back to Mexico, but you're flying the flag of the country you don't want to go back to. I don't really get it.
Why are illegal immigrants more important than homeless people sleeping on the streets? Why do we in one of the biggest economies here in California take care of illegal immigrants, but our people are sleeping on the streets? I'd like to hear an answer to that. Why don't people put American citizens first, but illegal immigrants get everything?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all doing well. So MAGA Latino for Trump and Mexicans are holding massive protests in Los Angeles against ICE deportations. Thousands of people took to the streets, more passionate than ever, demanding that ICE deportations stop. But here's the part that's got people talking. Why are so many of these protesters waving Mexican flags if they are fighting to stay in the United States? Now, don't get me wrong, repping your culture is good, but when you're protesting to stay in the US while proudly waving the flag of the country that you claim you don't want to be deported to, it's got people asking questions. So this has got some people raising their eyebrow and asking the questions. Let's get into it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, and let me know in the comment section what's your opinion about today's episode. I'll be back with more commentary.
Police are in a standoff with a massive amount of protesters blocking the LA freeway who are refusing to leave until these demands are met. What started out as a large-scale planned protest against Trump in the city of Los Angeles quickly took a turn. Official reports say that thousands of people gathered in downtown LA, Riverside, and San Diego to protest Trump's mass deportation initiative. At first, the protest was small and legally cleared with the city. However, as more and more people showed up, the situation quickly deteriorated. Protesters waved signs saying "Fight ignorance, not immigrants," and "No human is illegal on stolen land." Then people began making their way onto the 101 freeway, with videos showing some people graffitiing the walls of the highway while others surrounded cars blocking them in. Not long after, huge amounts of LAPD showed up and blocked off the other side of the freeway. Then protesters sat on the road, physically shutting down all traffic, but it's not clear exactly what they want other than for Trump to immediately end his deportation program.
So you're protesting because you don't want to get sent back to Mexico, but you're flying the flag of the country you don't want to go back to. I don't really get it. I don't understand it.
This is downtown LA right now. Thousands of anti-ICE demonstrators have blocked the 101 freeway in downtown LA. So far, the demonstrations have been peaceful, although in some instances, they have been burning of the American flag. Thousands of them have gathered and are waving the flag of their country of origin, some Mexico, Central America, even South America. This marks the beginning of a mass walkout, A Day Without Latinos, which begins tomorrow, January 3rd. A day where Latinos are not going to consume any U.S. products. They're not going to show up to work. This is to demonstrate the Trump administration that Latinos in this country matter. and that they contribute to the economy of this country. It's not yet clear whether other states will follow, but as of right now, thousands have gathered. Personally, I'm not sure that any of this is going to have any impact on the Trump administration. But one thing is clear, whether this or any administration wants to acknowledge, immigrants have given this nation decades of hard work, and the United States of America would not be what it is today without their efforts. And hopefully one day, the administration will acknowledge them and give them a path to citizenship and the ability to earn a living legally in this country without feeling that just by showing up to work, they're breaking the law.
I'm so bummed I don't live in LA anymore, because right now on Sunday afternoon, on February 2nd, there is a huge anti-Trump protest march going on in the city of LA. They have been through so much recently, and they are taking to the streets in the best way possible. This is all over the news, all over this app. And it is incredible to see people rallying together and pushing back against this administration. It has only been less than 2 weeks, and people are pissed. People are so pissed. We have such a huge sense of dread in this country. People all over the world are reaching out to us and trying to figure out how they can help us. We are imploding very, very quickly. And I love that people are doing their very best to push back against the absolute atrocities that are happening inside the White House right now. Each day comes with more damning executive orders. And many people, even those who voted for him, don't want this.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the word that he promised us Latinos. This is crazy that starting next week, multiple cities will be hitting immigration. That is so crazy that multiple people are scared to go to work. When I work at a lot of Latinos and I go to work, and that's crazy because we have a living too. I hate that I voted for him. Now I'm so scared for my family and your family. Y'all, we need to come together and do something about this.
Okay guys, if you guys are not watching the protests that are happening in Los Angeles, do it right now. There's a lot of people streaming them. Look for them. Right now, they shut down a whole highway, and right now the police are out and they have their riot gear. I just saw a stream and shots were fired by the police, and I saw somebody in the comments say that that was a tactic that they use to start arresting people. So this is when they will label the protest from being a protest, peaceful protest, to becoming a riot. Pay attention and watch it for yourselves. Do not let them fool you. Do not let the media tell you what it is. Do not let the media tell you that people were being rowdy and rioting, because this is exactly what they did with the BLM peaceful protest. People were peacefully protesting, and a person of color, hidden, face covered, started smashing windows and getting people riled up. And then we saw what we saw, but it was led and it began by so pay attention, stream and follow any creators that you can see covering it. The way that they react and the way that they show us, the way that they portray us is everything right now. This is a protesting ICE and Donald Trump. And as a Latino creator, I feel like it's important for us. So if you support any Hispanic creators, Mexican creators, if you are a Mexican creator, follow and pay attention to what's happening in California, because it's going to go from bad to worse. And it can happen in seconds. And before the media takes it and spins off with their narrative, watch it for yourself and stay informed.
And I'm just gonna say that, and please don't hate me. I just watched a few TikTok lives of the protest in Los Angeles. If you don't have papers and if you don't have money to get bailed out, right now is a good time to go home. If someone you love is currently at the protest who does not have papers, right now is a good time to call them and tell them it's time to come home. Please do not underestimate how fast things go really, really bad. Please do not underestimate how incentivized law enforcement is to arrest as many people as possible. Don't be fooled thinking that ICE is not anywhere near the protests, because they are. It is totally okay to protect yourself first. You have made your voices heard. You have made all of us Mexicans proud. I have cried so much today scrolling, watching all of you march. But there comes a time, and I say that as a mom, when it's time to go home, because nothing good comes out of it. It's about to get dark, literally dark, as in the sun is about to set. You've made all of us proud. Please get home safely. Don't wait for things to escalate, because that's what they want. And it is not worth it.
Hey, if you're for mass deportations, there's really only one topic you should be contributing to the conversation, and it's how do we help fill the gap right now? Because those jobs that you've been complaining the migrants have been taking, baby, they're open. About 60% of the workforce in farms, factories, construction sites, wide open. You know why they're open? Because these workers are scared. You know why most of them are scared? And it's not because they're criminals, but because they have spent every single minute of their life in this country living in fear. Really quick story. So my family and I immigrated here, and when we were little, my brother and I were playing at the Ross store, and for a quick second we couldn't find my dad. So we were rushing around looking for him, and we saw the exit door. We thought he might have been outside. So we opened the door. Little did we know that was an emergency door. So the emergency alarm started blaring. Dad rushed over, fear in his eyes, grabbed us both by the arms, rushed us out of the store as he profusely apologized to everybody. When we got into the car, he gave us a lesson I will never forget, and it's that as immigrants, we cannot make a single mistake. Every single step we take needs to be so calculated so we do not end up on anyone's radar. So even without doing a single thing wrong, a single crime committed, I understand the fear that immigrants live in. But back to the point at hand, go on. There's no better opportunity than right now. Either take yourself or round up everyone who's been complaining about the migrants taking their job and give them the good news. I'm gonna give you a really high level reminder of how supply and demand works. When the workforce is reduced, production is reduced. Production is reduced, supply is reduced. When supply is reduced, but demand stays the same, guess what? Costs go up, and we don't want that, because I know a lot of you voted on grocery prices low. Don't you want to be part of the solution? Don't you want to make America great again? Oh, and make sure you recruit as loudly and proudly as you were when you complained about the migrants. But you're not going to do that, are you? No, because being part of the solution takes time and effort. And don't come at me about how ridiculous this sounds and how farm work is below you, because then you'd be admitting that they were never taking your jobs in the first place. You'd be admitting that you'd rather harp on the people below you, blaming them for why you're unemployed, why you're struggling, how their mere presence alone in your country is pulling you down. You'd rather do that than admit it's actually the billionaires and corporations above you. Because here's the thing, if they can keep you looking down, they can keep you from seeing the glass ceiling they're building right over your head.
So I went to a protest. There's a bunch of people walking around with signs, shirts, flags. February 2nd, 2025, a protest took place in Houston, Texas,
around Delvany Street. It's right here, so if I'm saying it wrong, you can see it. The protest was against ICE, as the ICE raids have been getting really crazy ever since Trump was inaugurated. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of people there protesting against ICE. There were women, there were children, there were kids, there were black, whites, Hispanic, multiple people showing up. They bought multiple flags and signs chanting things such as "Si se puedes," I hope I said that correctly, which means yes you can, or yes we can, or we can. I asked somebody to break it down for me. I got like 2 different responses on what it could mean. I went to go show my support and just see how I would feel, and honestly, I thought it was amazing. Seeing everybody come together, people cheering, celebrating, blocking up roads, even though I guess it's not really a good thing. It just shows that when you come together as a community, you can achieve anything. There were a ton of people on these bridges because we were along where you could see us on the top of the freeway. And so they stopped the bridges, the driving on the freeway. And waving hello at everybody down the freeway. And so there were people with their flags showing up, showing support as they were driving past. I stayed for about 3 hours, and I walked onto 2 bridges, I think 3 actually. I stayed on one main bridge for about 2 to 3 hours. It wasn't until like the last 30 minutes where I was like, let me go check out, see what the other bridges are doing. When I say it was almost kind of like a celebration, there were people dancing, they had food, there were other people, there was these people in these elaborate cultural outfits, dancing, chanting. People came out with megaphones and they speaked up. I do mainly just regret not bringing my camera, as I feel like the quality would have been better, and I could have gotten better videos for y'all, but I did record as much as I could. I also got a few interviews with people, my main question asking them why they chose to come to the protest and what this means to them. I got some on both phones, so the quality could be good or bad on either one. And I did mainly speak to people. I did only speak to people who spoke English because I do not know Spanish, unfortunately. So I'm really sorry about that. I probably should have still had somebody speak Spanish and just had like another person translate, and then I could have showed y'all, but I am sorry. I did try to be a bit versatile with who I asked. I tried to ask white people, black people, Hispanics. I did only get a few guys, but nonetheless, I tried to get as many as I could. I also didn't have like a professional mic or anything, so not only is the quality bad, but it's probably super, super hard to hear. And I know y'all probably wondering, Jordan, where are the interviews? Don't worry, you can see them right now.
Okay, I am here with
Jesse. Nice to meet y'all.
What's up, Jesse? Can I ask real quick, why did you choose to come to this protest and what does it mean to you?
Because I love my people and I hate seeing them being treated this way, because we're all human beings, and fuck Donald Trump.
Alright. Alright, so I'm here with
Louis.
Alright, Louis, I just want to ask why you came and what this protest means to you.
It's all about community. We gotta stick together. I came to the protest to be here with everyone. Everyone here is like family to us because we came all from the same place. I'm first generation Chicano, but my blood is run strong with the Mexican courage.
Alright, thank you so much, bro. Okay, I am here with
my name is Marta. How's everyone today?
Alright, and the one question I have for you is, why did you choose to come to this protest and what does it mean to you?
Because I'm mad because what's happening is not fair. It's not, like, I don't understand how people can have so much hatred, but at this point I think it's ignorance. They really don't know what they're doing. Whether they want to or not, immigrants are here. And we've adapted to them. They don't realize that without them it's gonna be so much worse. But I know that we're gonna make them.
I mean, I don't want to make this like sound like it was a party, but honestly, the experience was a 10 out of 10. It was amazing. I rejoiced in the community. I rejoiced in the food, in the dancing, in the flags, the cheers, the chanting. It felt good to be around. And if they had more protests, honestly, I would show up. It wasn't a violent protest whatsoever. The police did try to like drive through us because we blocked the road, so they tried to drive through us, but that failed to work.
How about that? They did try to close the thing back up. It didn't work. My ears are ringing though. They played that noise. See, they're attempting to do it again. It's not really working out to their favor. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. No one is following. No one is listening. Here, I'll give you a close. Now they're moving. Okay, they're bringing an even bigger car. It's the Houston police. They're putting signs at them. That failed to work because right after they drove past, the people came back together. I don't really know what they were trying to attempt with that. I mean, they look, hey. But once again, I say, like, not even trying to sound disrespectful because it is a protest, but 10 out of 10 honestly kind of would recommend, like, if you really do want to speak up, if you really want to be an activist, if you really care, going to a protest, if you are able, obviously, because I know some people aren't able, but going to protesting, it not only does so much, but it feels good. Like, I don't know if that's weird to say, but it feels good to, like, be active, to, like, see the people, to, like, talk. Like, it feels good. Especially when you go to a protest where they almost kind of turn it into some type of celebration of the protest. It feels good. I do have a ton of interviews. I have a ton of pictures, a ton of photos. So if you guys want to see anything specific, go ahead and ask me. I will see if I have it in there, because I probably do. And I will post, and I will try to keep y'all updated. And yeah, these people are people. I don't give a damn if they're immigrants. I don't give a damn if they came here illegally, okay? They are people. They are wives. They are husbands. They are fathers. They are sons. They are nieces. They are friends. They are people. They're people. Immigrants are people. Palestinians are people. Congolese are people. The LGBT, they are people. Black people, they're people. They're people. I just want to end it off with that. They are people. And it takes a lot for me not to see a person as a person. You really got to do some disgusting things, okay? But at the end of the day, these people are people. So keep that in mind. If you guys want to see more content of this, please just let me know. I will try to do my best to post. And once again, remember, if you don't feel seen, I see you. And if you don't feel loved, I love you. You are loved. Never stop fighting for what's right, okay? That was so corny.
Alright, y'all, there you have it. Actually, those are MAGA Latino for Trump protesting against ICE deportations. Well, let's be honest here. You all voted for Trump. 60%, over 60% of Latino men voted for the orange man in charge. Now, it was all good and rosy when actually it was affecting other people and not yourselves. Now that it's affecting your community and yourselves even more than it is affecting other people, you are out here protesting and crying on social media about these massive ICE deportations that are being conducted against your community. You know, to be honest here, you brought this to yourselves. This is the effing around and finding out season. We all told you, actually, black people warned you. When it was time to vote, when it was the ballot box, black people told you, don't vote against your own interest. We all remember when actually there was a campaign and, you know, the MAGA party and their leaders came here and started calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. That should have told you something. They don't care about you. They were just using you to get the votes out of you. Now they're trying to make America great again. And America being great, that means it doesn't need people of color. It doesn't need Latinos there. Now you're finding out the mistakes of your own votes, the mistake of your own decisions. You know, you reap what you sow. These are the consequences of your actions. Black people told you and they warned you. But just because you are so much into white adjacency, you thought yourselves to be better than black people. You did not want a woman in power. That's number one. And you did not want a black woman in power. That's number 2. And you thought that you were better than black people. And actually to make yourselves, look better in the eyes of the palm-colored people, you went ahead and voted for him, thinking that you would actually be bailed out of these mass deportations. Now we are seeing from all the communities that are being deported, it is Latinos who are being deported in mass deportations. Yes, we have a couple of Haitians and other black people from Africa who are being deported, but there are very few actually compared to Latinos who are being deported back to Mexico, back to places like Colombia, places like Costa Rica, and all these other Latino countries. So now you're coming here and you've been crying online, asking for sympathy, and you have noticed that instead of getting sympathy, people are actually enjoying your tears. People are enjoying MAGA tears. They're enjoying you finding out the consequence of your actions. So now you have decided to protest in mass numbers, as we have seen massive Latino protests and Mexican protests in LA, and also some are going on in Texas. But the question that people have been asking here in this video, we saw a woman ask about this question: why wave Mexican flags and burn US flags when you don't want actually to be deported back to Mexico or other Latino countries? At least show a little bit of patriotism to a country that you want to be part of. We understand that many of you actually came into the US to look for greener pastures. We understand that many of you are hardworking. We understand that many of you just want to feed your families, but you should have known better. There is no other party in the United States that takes care of immigrants more than the Blue Party. But you went ahead and voted for the Red Party that wants to get rid of immigrants. And the funny thing is that you know that this is not like a mistake that came out of the blue. You know this from the first term of the orange man in charge back in 2018. You know what he did. He built a whole border wall between Mexico and the United States of America. And to think that he would do any different than what he did in his first term, this actually shows that you're so delusional. I'm sorry if I'm being harsh here, but this is the truth. This is the reality. You're so delusional to think that a man that built a wall between the United States and Mexico would come into his second term and actually cut you some slack. Of course not. And number 2 is that he was announcing these mass deportations plans from the beginning in his campaign. You knew that. It's not like he came out of the blue and started doing mass deportations. He announced that from day one he's gonna carry on mass deportations. You went ahead and voted for the orange man to be in charge. Now the orange man is being in charge of you indeed. And he's treating you the way you deserve to be treated for not listening to people when they are trying to warn you. So yeah, keep on finding out actually. It's only the beginning. It's FAFO season right now. You F around and you find out. Thank you very much for watching this far. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and drop me a comment of your opinion in the comment section below. As always guys, see you on the next episode.